Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Jack Mitchell with Entrepreneurs Corner. And as you know, Entrepreneurs Corner is sponsored by folks like Treasure Coast Communication and Marketing, Wise Communications, and a number of other wonderful sponsors that allow us to have this show to present to you, our audience, people in our community who are entrepreneurs, who are making a difference in our community and adding value to our community. Tonight we have a very special friend with us who is one of these gentlemen that has been with us in the community for a number of years, adding value to the community. I want to introduce you to a very special guy. His name is Reggie Mathieu, and Reggie is the founder and the principal of an organization, a company called Affordable Technical Solutions, better known as ATF. Reggie, say hello to the audience and
Hi,
welcome
everybody.
on the show tonight.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Reggie, tell the audience just a little of your background, where you're from, where you grew up, and ultimately how you transitioned into having your own business as an entrepreneur.
Okay, well, I grew up in Queens, New York.
Okay.
I moved to Florida, I want to say about maybe 20 years ago.
Okay.
Okay, and we took a little travel around Florida. We lived in Broward County, we lived in Miami, we lived in Boca, and then we finally found Port St. Lucie, which I really wish I would have found it a lot sooner, to be honest with you.
I understand.
And we love it here. I transitioned into being a business owner after about 26 years in the medical field.
In the medical field?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did that I still do that. I do that a couple of days a week. I love doing it. I grew up around it. Dialysis. I treat dialysis patients.
Oh.
And I also have ATS, where we provide security systems for homeowners, renters, business owners.
Okay, so you're in the security business now.
Correct.
How did you get into that as opposed to opening up your own donut shop or whatever?
Really, it started off with me just adding some security to my own home.
Okay.
I just wanted to, being in the medical field, like I said, I leave my house very early in the morning, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I always wondering, making sure, is my wife okay? Is my daughter okay? So I added some cameras at my house, and with some help of friends of mine who are electricians, whatever have you. And I loved it. I loved it. My wife loved it. I showed it to some friends of mine. They loved it. They wanted it done at their house. And it just kind of progressed from there. I got... as I went on, I got into a little more sophisticated equipment, did whatever I needed to do as far as testing equipment to make sure that I can get the best equipment for the best price, because that transfers over to my customers.
Sure.
And that's what we did. And I think we're very competitive out there right now.
Wow, that's fabulous. What you're really providing is a sense of security and safety for people.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little about that, how people feel about when you come there, and then you provide the technical equipment necessary. What's been your experience of how people feel about that?
That's the best part.
Yeah,
that's really
tell
the
us
best
about
part.
that, because I think as an entrepreneur, there's many things that motivate people to do what they do, and I got to believe that sense, the smile. Did you see the smile on Reggie's face when I asked him?
No, it actually
Tell us about that, Reggie.
It's actually the best part of it. It takes a lot of work, with me and my guys to come over and get the security system set up. But at that moment, when all the cameras are up and we have the DVR set to their TV, their widescreen TV or whatever have you, and they hit that HDMI button and all those cameras pop up, the way their face just lights up, and they can see everything. Like, oh man, I can see my front door, I can see my driveway, I can see the back door, I can see everything. And then we go through a tweaking stage. I have one of the guys go outside and turn the camera to get that perfect angle that they want. And the way their face lights up, when they can see everything, it's fabulous. I love that part. That's the best part.
That's the best part.
That's the best part.
That's really the icing on the cake.
That's the icing on the cake.
No,
absolutely.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
I can feel that from you, Reggie. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Reggie, what's the difference now? You mentioned cameras, and there are alarm systems, and I'm confused as to which is which, and what is it that I should have in my home? What is it that our folks should have in their homes?
Well, the first thing I want to do is explain the difference between let's say, a camera system, right, between us or one of our big name competitors, okay? Camera systems right now, they're charging monthly for a camera system, and that's so that you can hold on or view the recordings that are coming, that the camera records, okay? And that's part of that security. You know, if you are not looking at your camera live, if something happens and you're not looking at it, you missed it. And then if you can't see the recordings, then you missed it. Basically, you don't know what happened, okay? Where we're different is that we want to actually provide people with the ability to view their recordings at no monthly charge. So that's where our cameras come in. You control the recordings, you control everything. It's like a set it and forget it, and you will always be able to view your recordings without having to pay a monthly fee for it. That's kind of a loophole that's out there these days.
But do I need to every night at 11 o'clock review?
No.
24 hours of camera? Because how do I know if someone came to my door who may or may not be a welcome guest?
Well, you have push notification, right? So if somebody comes to your door, it's a motion. The cameras have motion sensors in them. So if somebody comes to your door, you get a push notification to your phone.
It's called a push
notification,
okay.
absolutely.
This is a guy out of New
like
York, so we have to. I'm a Bostonian, and we Bostonians have to be a little patient with these guys from New York.
Yeah, you gotta be a little patient with the accent. Right?
So it's called a push.
A push notification, right? So it's just like getting a text message or an alert, okay? So if somebody crosses in front of your camera, immediately our DVR sends you an alert to your phone, and you can see it, you can click on it, you can open it up, see the person live, okay? Now, if it's somebody that's not supposed to be there or is doing something that they're not supposed to be doing, just having a live view really doesn't do anything for you. No. You need to have that recording so that way you can give it to the authorities. You know, there's great apps out there like Nextdoor, you know, that you can put the picture on there and see if anybody else in the neighborhood has seen that person, you know. And these things are very, very good. And I don't believe that for somebody's security and somebody's peace of mind that it should be attached to a monthly payment.
And is that part of the program?
Absolutely.
For some companies that they will charge you a monthly fee?
They will charge you a monthly fee, and that's mainly so that you can access your recordings. That's what the monthly fee is for.
Does that fee also include the leasing of the cameras? Or is that a different fee, or how does that work?
Well, when you're talking about, you know, our bigger competitors, then yeah, you know, they throw in equipment, and then they're charging you monthly for the equipment, and they charge you monthly for the service. You sign a 3-year, 4-year contract for that.
Okay.
And you know, and it's very rare to at the end of that 3-4 year contract to see your payment go down. It really doesn't. You still pay that large amount of money every month, and it really creates your security. You know, I don't want somebody's peace of mind and their security to be a problem. You know, I don't want that monthly payment to be a problem where they have to choose, like, okay, you know what, I can't really pay for this anymore, so now I'm going to stop paying for this, but then I lose that peace of mind. I lose that confidence and that security that I have for my family, whatever have you. We don't believe in that. You know, we want it to be where, you know, where you set up your security system or we set up your security system as far as the cameras are concerned, and that's it. That's yours. You own it. You got it. The recordings are yours. We have lifetime of tech support. So if you have any issues where you're trying to figure out, you know, how do I download the recording, or how do I get it onto a thumb drive, or how do I send it to somebody, you know, if we can't explain it to you over the phone, then we will send somebody out to your house and do it for you and teach you every step of the way, and that's free of charge.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's pretty great. So that's the camera and the way the camera system
That's the way
works.
the camera system works.
Now, what about, I have in my home, I think I have 14 windows, and I have 3 doors. How do I secure them? Do I put cameras there, or there's alarm systems and so forth?
Correct.
How does that fit in with the...
Okay, so the alarm system is basically, that's like your final line of defense, right? So you have your camera system, so if somebody's lurking around the property, you get a push notification, you see what's going on. Now, as far as the camera system is concerned, that's if somebody actually breaches your property. They actually get into a window or get into a door. And in that point, you know, okay, so now it's serious. The alarm is going to go off, okay? Now, when the alarm goes off, you have 2 options, okay? You can have self-monitoring. Now, what that means is that it's not going to contact a central station as far as, let's say, the police. It's going to contact you to let you know that your alarm went off. You're going to get a phone call from the system, and it's going to be a recording, and it's going to tell you what part of your home has been breached.
Okay.
And that way you can decide, what do I need to do? Do I need to call the police? Do I need to, and that service is $10 a month, okay? We also have the 24/7 professional monitoring from a UL certified central station, okay? And what that does is if your alarm goes off, they will contact you, okay? Now, when you answer the phone, you have to give the proper security word.
Okay.
If you do not give the proper security word, the police will be out to your property to find out what's going on. On top of that, we have things called duress words. So let's say there is something going on, right? Your alarm goes off, the company calls you, and there is something going on. You don't want to give your security word, your all clear word, you give your duress word. And then at that point, they'll say, okay, have a great night, hang up the phone, and the police are on their way. So, and that service, unlike, a lot of our big competitors, that's $30 a month, and that's everything, all right? So that's the interactive service where you monitor yourself, the $10 a month, plus $20 a month for the total monitoring service, which gives you a total of $30 a month, which I think it's the cheapest out there right now. Everybody that I've talked to who's not using our service, who's using another company, is paying anywhere around $50 to $70 a month, and that's for the monitoring. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's the same, because the big word to me is security.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. As a husband and with a family and so forth, I want to make sure that my loved ones are safe. So, and money is important to all of us, obviously, but the number one thing is safety. Can I have the same kind of security and feel the same kind of security that my family is going to be protected, my home is going to be protected, with a $30 product program versus a $60 program? Is there that much of a difference? Or?
There really is no difference. And that's the key. All right, that's the key. That's the affordable aspect that we're trying to, promote to everybody. Okay, we want them to know that this is doable. You don't have to pay $70, $60, $70, $80 a month when you can pay $30, right? And on top of that, we don't do any contracts at all. So we're not going to sign you to a 3-year, 4-year contract where you're mandated to make this monthly payment. You can choose what it is that you want to do. We have people who come in and out of town. Some people, they live in Florida during the winters and they take off, during the summers, and they can choose how they want their alarm system to work for them when they're here and when they're not here. You have those options. You can, have the full monitoring where it will send the police out to your home when you're not in town, or and have it self-monitor when you're in town. It depends on what you want to do.
Wow. I told you this gentleman is really an asset to our community and the work he's doing. So we're going to take a brief commercial break, and then we'll be back right afterwards.
Why would over 23,000 successful business owners and CEOs pay to meet in small monthly peer discussion groups? The answer? To meet and interact with other result-driven leaders who are responsive and supportive, and to develop their businesses, according to Dun & Bradstreet, to be 2.5 times more successful than other small to medium-sized businesses. Join a Wise Solomon group today.
Okay, we're back with Reggie Mathieu from ATS. Big word there is affordable.
Yes.
Technical solution. I got it, didn't I?
You got it. Yeah.
I got the message. Affordable. What a wonderful word that is. That's
Absolutely.
great, Reggie.
Yeah.
Reggie, is there anything else about the products or services that you provide before I want to get into the entrepreneurship and what you've learned from that, and some of the challenges of getting into that, and what you can advice you can give to folks that may be thinking about becoming their own business owner and so forth. But before I get into that, is there anything else about the services and products that you want to share? Because you've been terrifically informative, and I thank you for that. And I'm sure the audience will really appreciate not just what you said and how you said it, but the affordable aspect of it is.
Yeah, that's
and
the key.
And the flexibility you're providing folks.
That's the key. We want to make sure that what we offer is always going to be affordable. It's always going to be better than what our competition is going to offer. and the flexibility of it, that's also important, because things change,
Mm-hmm.
people's lives change, and we want to make sure that even though, you may be experiencing some changes in your life that, compromising your security won't have to be a change that you have to compromise, that, that we're there, we're going to be there for everybody.
This is a great neighbor. Can you
Yeah,
imagine?
right.
I mean, what a great neighbor to have that has that kind of sensitivity that it's just not about money.
No,
It's
no, not at all.
it's really about caring for your neighbor.
Yeah.
And boy, that's wonderful. So again, any other technical aspects that you provide that you want to share?
Well, we pretty much provide everything that has to do with security in someone's home. So if they're looking for cameras, we can do that. High-end cameras, if somebody, they want a camera that they want to see color at nighttime, yeah, we can do that too. We can pretty much provide anything that you want as far as to create that security and that peace of mind for you and your family.
Do you do it for businesses as well as residential?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Residential,
Yep.
commercial.
Yep, we do. The only difference is, as far with our residential, we have a financing for our residential people. So the commercial, we don't finance, but as far as residential, absolutely,
really?
absolutely. We can get a 4-camera system installed in somebody's home with no money down, and they're paying maybe $14 a month. And that's completely installed, out the door, no questions asked, lifetime of tech support. You have any issues, we come out, we repair it. Everything has a 2-year warranty, cameras, DVR, wiring, you name it. It's there. We're there to cover.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. This is a good neighbor, friends.
Yeah.
This is a good neighbor. Tell us about your being an entrepreneur. What have you learned what are some of the pros and some of the cons of being your own boss?
Well, being your own boss, you work a lot more.
Sorry about that.
It's not a 9 to 5, it's a 24/7.
All you folks out there that thought that it was going to be easy, here it is from
No,
the
not
lips
at all.
of the master.
Not at all. You're constantly working. Even when you're not working, you're working.
Yeah, your mind
is
is
always
going.
going. You always want to make sure that overhead's a big thing,
Yeah.
right? So you try to do whatever it is you can do to make sure that your overhead stays low, right? The lower your overhead is, the less stress you have, and that savings you can pass on to your customers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things that I definitely worked on. And it's just you have to be strong, and you have to keep trying. There's going to be a lot of problems and a lot of issues, a lot of no's. You're going to get the yeses, but you're going to get a lot of no's, and you just have to figure out why you got to know. How do you fix that? Go back and get a yes, and keep going and keep going.
How did you start from a marketing point of view? As you know, TCoast Studios is part of a larger organization called TCC and M, Treasure Coast Communications and Marketing. So it's a major marketing and advertising company. So marketing is really important.
It really is.
What did you do to start off?
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth has been everything for me. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
I did the marketing. I did the YouTube marketing. I did the Facebook marketing, but it's kind of difficult if your niche is not marketing. Then it's a whole new learning curve.
Yeah.
So I concentrated on making sure that every customer I dealt with, that I gave them the absolute best service I could possibly give them. Make sure that everybody that I had with me, respected, the customer's home. Make sure everything was done properly, so that way I can get that word of mouth. So if they had somebody come to their house, say, "Oh man, it's a nice camera," it's like, I got a perfect guy for you.
Yep.
And that's the way you got to do it, and the word spread, and it's kept me busy, and in marketing, we're working on that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know that you're a new client of
Yes, absolutely.
TCC&M, so you're at a stage where to have professionals come and help you
Absolutely.
to spread the word, because you have such a good story to tell.
Yeah. Thank you.
In terms of the quality of the service and the affordability and the flexibility that you provide. So that's pretty wonderful. What pitfalls, if any, can you advise? You said about overhead, and some people spend a lot of money up front on overhead.
Absolutely.
I've seen some that spend terrific amount of money on offices, with the best of furnitures and all that kind of thing, and they put themselves in a real bind.
Absolutely.
They have some money going into it, and then after a little while, that money runs out pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, the only thing that I can say that I learned, the hard way, is don't quit your 9 to 5.
Okay.
Don't
Tell
quit
us
your 9
about
to 5.
that. What do you mean by that? I understand, but share what you mean.
Well, this ATS isn't the first business that I had. I had a company about 10 years ago, and I went all in. I went all in. I left my dialysis job and I went in. And one of the things you have to realize when you're working for yourself and you're an entrepreneur, you're working on commission.
Yep.
So you're not making any money unless the company's making money.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can find yourself a way to maintain your 9 to 5 job while you're trying to build the business, it definitely softens it for you. It's not as as bad. Maybe sometimes you have to wait a little longer to do something than you would, But if you have your work, you can basically separate the two. You can have your work to maintain your home life, and then build the business as you go. Instead of being finding yourself up against a wall and hoping things happen in order for you to continue with your life, to live your life and take care of your family. So I would definitely say don't quit your 9 to 5. Until.
But how many hours then? I mean, you're talking your 9 to 5 is going to take you at least 40 to 50 hours a week to do that effectively.
Yeah.
Then
it's not easy.
And you come home and you're pretty tired because you've worked as a dialysis.
Yeah, it's not easy. I'm lucky in the sense that the days that I work dialysis, I work long days. If you want to call that lucky. So I can I work like a Monday and a Tuesday, and then I'm done for the week, and I concentrate on my business. The rest of the week. Absolutely.
Is that the way you've done it? Huh?
Yeah, I get in about 4 a.m, get out about 9:30 at night when I go to work. Yeah, absolutely. But it's sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to do something and you want to become, successful, can't get there without sacrifice. You got to do it.
Yeah.
And if you work hard enough, and you stay honest, you'll get there. Absolutely.
And you don't get greedy.
Don't get greedy.
Because that can really put
a little bit of money, a lot of deals.
Yeah.
That's how you want to do it.
Okay. We want to thank you so much for all the information you provide. It's just been wonderful to get to know you a bit.
Thank you very much.
Even though you're from New York, I'll
still you don't hold it against
me. With the sports, being a big Boston sports fan, and you guys in New York have always been major competitors of the Red Sox and the Yankees and the Mets and so forth. So, but I like you a lot. So
thank you.
That's a good thing. It doesn't make any difference, but I'm just so impressed with your story and the quality of a person that you are, and how you're communicating that in your business, and you're living that out in our community, and you're making our community a safer and a better place, and you're doing it in a very ethical and in a wonderful manner. So, Reggie, thank you very much for being here on the show. I hope you enjoyed it.
Absolutely, thank you.
And we want to thank you, our wonderful audience, for participating tonight and watching Reggie and listening to his story and taking some insights from him with regard to the kind of sacrifice that you do have to make if you're going to be a successful entrepreneur, and to work at that with intelligence and doing the best you can, and do it in a reasonable and fair fashion to people, so that you'll have a reputation like Reggie has as being a real honest and a good man, and someone that you can depend on. So we want to thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again for another edition of Entrepreneur's Corner.
You have been listening to and watching Entrepreneur's Corner, a talk show that interviews entrepreneurs of the Treasure Coast and gets valuable insight to the secrets of their success and the story of their business. Sponsored by TCoastStudios. Visit TCoastStudios.com.